Hello, thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga sequence. Today's going to be all about building strength and finding balance through our yoga practice. So we'll start off with some warm-ups to feel into our bodies before coming into more static and dynamic movements. If you've got a couple of blocks, go ahead and invite them into your practice. We are going to start with these today. And we'll align them at the mid-height. If you don't have blocks, don't worry. You can use some pillows or some rolled up blankets instead. So we'll turn away from the blocks. The one closest to your body, you want to position underneath your shoulder blades. And then the second block is going to go underneath your head for support. So feel it out, set it up, arms come out to the sides. We're starting off with opening our hearts. Knees can stay bent, or you can extend your legs. This is really up to you. Just feel the support of the blocks underneath you. If your head or your neck is uncomfortable, you can rotate the block underneath your head to a higher height. And if you feel like that's too high, you can go back to the mid-level or you can take it down to the lowest height. I can already feel the block pressing into my upper back. This feels really good to me in my body. I definitely hold tension in my back, so this is a really nice press with the block. Gentle heart opening with the support of the block. So let's just take a few rounds of breath here. Inhaling through the nostrils. Exhale, let's open the mouth, take a sigh of relief. A couple more rounds. Exhale, release, let it go. And again. Now this feels so good with the support of the blocks, just taking a couple more rounds of breath and bringing all of our awareness to the breath, how we're breathing in this moment, how this experience feels both in the body and with the breath moving in and out of the body. If the legs are extended, we might rock the toes towards each other and then away. Feeling movement go up the legs all the way into the hips. And before we get too relaxed and too settled in, we are going to come out. So to do that carefully and safely, just lift your head, bring your arms by your sides, then press palms to the mat. Lift your shoulders, peel your back off of the blocks. Now we'll set those out to the side in case we want to come back to them later. Changing the station of our body, we're now going to come into cat-cow. So for cat-cow, that's going to be our neutral tabletop. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, ankles in line with the knees. So look back between the knees. If you see your feet, just open them out until you can't see them anymore. Fingers are spread wide. As you inhale, let your belly lower towards the mat. And as you exhale, lift your upper back. Movement is following the breath. Each time we inhale, the belly softens, the tailbone lifts. And each time we exhale, we lift the upper back. Moving through extension and flexion of our spine, working on spinal mobility. Really letting your movement be exaggerated. Finishing off this round, we'll come to a neutral tabletop position. Reaching the crown of the head forward, reaching the tailbone back. Now walk your hands one hand placement forward. Coming into a lizard lunge, we'll lift the right knee, step the right foot outside of the right hand. So ideally, we want to have this right knee tracking above the right ankle. Left knee is down. Feeling into the hips, we might rock the hips from side to side. We might take external rotation for that right hip, rolling to the pinky side of the foot. You might want a little more activation, so you might curl those left toes. And as you keep the right knee bent, maybe you press the left heel back. Maybe even taking little micro movements. As you inhale, shift forward, and as you exhale, shift back. If the knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it down. Uncurl the back toes. Now, lift the hips, send them back. So the left hip is now above the left knee. Right leg is straight. Lift the right toes. Once you have that right leg straight and the toes are lifted, as you exhale, fold. Feel the stretch at the right leg, the right hamstring. I can feel this going all the way into my hip. It feels so good. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then with our next inhale, we'll press the hips forward. And when you're ready, lift your hands off the mat. So we'll take the right thumb to hook to the right hip crease, lift the left fingers up, and then reach the left arm overhead. I'm feeling a stretch now at the front of the left hip flexor. Reach, reach, reach. Also feeling into the side body from the left hip to the left arm. Lateral flexion for the spine. And with our next inhale, we'll lift the left fingers up. Exhale, take the left hand down. Right hand comes down to the mat. Slide the right foot back so the right knee is in line with the left. Take a full round of breath here. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Now lifting the left knee, stepping the left foot outside of the left hand. Sinking into the pose. Look over to the left knee. Make sure it's tracking above the ankle. And then find your option here. Maybe rocking the hips from side to side. Maybe that left knee splays out, so you roll to the pinky side of the left foot. External rotation for the left hip. Or maybe you bring that knee in and curl the right toes, lifting the right knee, finding more activation. So left knee stays bent. If you're in this option, think about pressing the right heel back. You're not going to move very much at all, but you'll feel the stretch deepen. And then maybe you take your little micro movements, shifting forward and back. Now, if the knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it down. Coming into our half splits, we'll uncurl the back toes, lift the hips, send them back, right hip above right knee. Lift the left toes, straighten the left leg. Maybe the hands walk back if that's a little more comfortable. And on your next exhale, fold into it. Think about bringing your torso and your head down towards the mat. And just folding enough to feel a nice deep stretch, but not to the point of pain. Let the head relax. And slowly starting to come out. As you inhale, lift your head. Press the hips forward. Bend that left knee. Lift the hands off the mat. Left hand is going to find the left thigh and then slide the left thumb to the left hip crease. Sink in, take the hips forward, and then reach the right fingers up. Exhale, reach the right arm over to the left. Coming out, inhale, lift the fingers up. Exhale, take the right hand down. Left hand comes down. Slide the left foot back so the left knee is in line with the right. And then we'll transition to downward facing dog. Curl the toes, lift the hips way up high, press them back. Find your down dog. Send the chest towards the thighs, taking pressure off of the shoulders. Here we can take alternate knee bends. This feels really good for the legs and the hip. And we'll bring it to our neutral down dog. With our next inhale, we'll lift the right leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it forward. Now from here, we'll lift the arms up as we inhale. And as we exhale, we'll take the arms back, hinge at the hips. Feel that right hip working. And again, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, take the arms back. One more time. Now, as we transition to the other side, arms come up as we inhale. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the mat. Right toes step back, back to our downward facing dog. Let's take a full round of breath here. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, sigh of relief. Coming into the other side. Inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, arms go back, hinge at the hips, lower the torso. Inhale, fingertips lift up to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, arms go back. We've got another full round in this way, your movement following your breath. And then preparing to come out, fingertips lift up on the inhale. Hands float down on the exhale. Left toes come back, and it's down dog. So each time we come back to down dog, you can take an optional vinyasa if you'd like, if that's part of your practice. Taking another variation. Next, inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, lift the arms up. Now, this time, as you exhale, bring your hands down to your hips and start to shift the weight into the right leg. Lift the left leg. So we're coming into warrior three. Then we bend the right knee, let the left toes float back, reach the arms up, back to crescent lunge, and then we'll do that again. Let yourself move slow and with control. We've got one more round. Feel it out. Set it up. Come into each pose. Notice not only the pose, but the transitions. So coming back to crescent lunge to transition to the other side. Hands float down. Right foot comes back. Remember, you can take an optional vinyasa if you want. And as you get to down dog, find a full round of breath. Inhaling deeply through the nostrils. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift and lengthen that left leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Now give yourself time here. Exhale, hands come down to the hips. And then, remember, we're going to shift the weight forward to the left leg. So we need to lift the right foot. This side might feel different. Okay, so we're in our warrior three. From here, to take the right toes back, let's bend the left knee. Once the toes touch down, as you inhale, lift the arms up. Crescent lunge. Let's try that again. Moving at your pace, feeling the strength in the left leg. Right toes float down. Fingertips rise up. And then we'll try it again. Last round. Maybe feeling a little stronger, maybe a little more stable. Back to crescent lunge. Inhale, we sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. As the left foot comes back, down dog or a vinyasa. Pause and find your breath. In your down dog, you might rock the hips from side to side. And prepare for the next variation. Inhale, lift and lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through. Inhale, lift the arms up. Now, as you exhale, take the hands down. Lift the left knee as your body comes forward. As you exhale, send the knee out, ankle finds the thigh, sit back, standing figure four. Press into the right foot to come out. Inhale, lift the left knee. Exhale, take the left toes back. Carefully come back into your crescent lunge. We're going to try that 2 more times. On your next exhale, let the hands come down to the hips. Inhale, step it forward, lifting that left knee. Exhale, ankle to right thigh. Find your standing figure four, standing balance. We've got 1 more round. Woo, building strength and heat. You've got this last one on this side. Move at your pace. My hips are feeling really happy about this. And then, as you transition out, left toes float back. Back to our crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, take the hands down. Right foot steps back. Flow or not, your choice. Preparing to come into the second side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, step it forward. And then inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, use your energy to step it forward, lift the right knee. Exhale, ankle to thigh, sit back. How does this side feel? Press into the left foot, straighten the left leg. Inhale, lift the right knee. Exhale, toes go back. Inhale, lift the fingertips up. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, lift the right knee. Exhale, ankle to left thigh. Sit it back. Feel it out. Start to come out. Straighten the left leg. Hands to the hips. Lift the right knee. Take the toes back. Reach the arms forward and up. And then take the hands down to the hips. Inhale, lift the knee up. Exhale, find your standing balance. Feel the energy you're creating in your practice. Slowly start to come out. Right toes step back. Moving with all the control, lifting the fingertips up. Exhale, palms float down to the mat. Left foot steps back or flow. Find your down dog. And then pause here. Now, you've always got the option to come into child's pose, which I recommend if you're feeling a little overheated or if you're feeling like you need a break. Knees can go wide, big toes together, forehead to the mat. Just give yourself an opportunity to breathe. Sometimes when we take dynamic movements, we forget about our breath. Our breath starts to shorten. And so this time in child's pose is a nice opportunity to re-lengthen the breath. Just letting ourselves settle in for a moment before we come back into movement. This is also a really nice time to grab a sip of water if you need to. And know that we've got another standing sequence coming up. So give yourself permission to breathe and just chill out for a minute. Now we are going to transition to downward facing dog. When you're ready, lift your hips, shift them forward, lift your forearms, curl your toes, find your down dog. Pedal the feet out if you'd like. And then from here, we'll take several steps, bringing our feet to the top of the mat. As your feet get to your hands, bring your palms to your shins, inhaling for a half lift. And then exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Standing position. Exhale, thumbs come down the midline. Let the hands find the hips. Now, looking at your feet, we'll lift the right foot and we'll step it way back to the back of the mat, but you're going to turn your right foot to 90 degrees. Now, when you look down to your feet, find your alignment. Left heel to right arch or left heel to right heel. Left knee is bent, tracking over the left ankle, and then we reach the arms out. So this is our warrior two. Make sure you're not reaching forward or way back, but try to have your body centered. Now, pressing to the pinky side of your right foot. Now look down to your left knee. Make sure you can see your left big toe and your second toe. Gaze is going to be at the left middle finger. And see if you can tuck your tailbone. That way you don't have that banana shape in your spine. Now hold and breathe. How does this warrior two feel in your body? Can you relax your shoulders? With the next exhale, we'll let the right hand come down to the right thigh. Inhale, reach the left fingers up and overhead. Reversing your warrior. You might look down to your right foot, or you might gaze up to the ceiling. From here, we'll rotate the arms back to warrior two. And then we'll bend the left elbow, take the left forearm to the left thigh, bring the right arm overhead. Long line of energy on the right side of the body. Pressing right foot to the mat, reaching through the right fingers. Reach, reach, reach. Now you could take your right hand to your hip to help open your chest. Open that right shoulder. Keep a bend in the left knee. And wherever you are, come back to warrior two and then straighten the left leg. Right hand drops back, left hand reaches up. Reverse triangle. Keeping the legs straight, rotate the arms to warrior two position, and then rotate the arms again so that the left hand comes down to your inner thigh or a block or the ground. Right fingers are reaching up. Again, here you can gaze down to the mat, or you can look up to your hand. To come out, we'll bend the left knee, take it back to warrior two, and then lower your arms down. Now, straighten the left leg, rotate the left toes so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. We're gonna do all that on the other side. But before we do, we're gonna take something in the middle. So hands find the hips, inhale, open the chest, send the hips forward, get a little back bend, gaze up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Take the hands from your hips down to the mat. Walk your hands over to your left foot, bend your left knee. Right leg straightens. Then slowly walk your hands over to the right foot, right knee bends, left leg straightens. Skandasana. So the second round, as we bring the hands over to the left foot to go deeper, we can lift the right toes, pointing them up towards the sky. If that doesn't feel good, you can stay with option one. And then we've got one more round, our third round. So if you were able to lift the toes, this time you might take a bind, bringing the arms to connect behind you at your low back. Give yourself an opportunity to feel the stretch at the inner thigh. And then set it up on the other side. Feel it out. Woo, I'm having a hot yoga experience because I forgot to turn the air on in my studio today. But it's all good. Detoxing as I find strength and balance. All right, cool. Coming out. Straighten both legs. Once your hands get to center, inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the crown of the head up towards the sky. Then from here, bring the heels in, toes out, bend the knees, slide the hands to the middle of the thighs. So the thumbs are in, arms are straight. We're gonna take a spinal twist in this goddess squat. Inhale with your body at center. Exhale, right shoulder dips forward. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite shoulder dips. We'll take two more on each side. Remember, your movement is following your breath. One more time on each side. You've got this. And then back to center, press the feet to the mat, straighten the legs. All right, back to our standing sequence on the other side. So this time the left foot is gonna be at 90. The pinky side of the left foot is aligning with the short end of the mat. Turning to face the other side of the mat, right knee bends. So right knee is now tracking above the right ankle. The arms float up, so we're in our warrior two. Now remember, if you've got a banana shape going on, if your belly's coming forward and you feel compression in your low back, think about tucking your tailbone, or in other words, bring your belly button towards your spine. Now, pinky side of the left foot's pressing into the mat. Look down to your right knee. Make sure you can see your right big toe and your second toe, and then gaze to your right middle finger. Strong stance, warrior two. From here, transitioning, left hand comes down to the left thigh. Reversing our warrior, lift the right fingers up and then overhead. Keep a bend in the right knee. Back to feeling into our side body. I love side body openers. They're so necessary as our body doesn't get them very much in our regular life. And then back to warrior two as a transition for extended side angle. Right elbow bends, forearm to the thigh, left arm comes overhead. Now, long line of energy on the left side, from the left foot to the left fingertips. Strong, strong legs. If you feel your body shaking, that's good. You're growing in your practice. You're building strength, finding balance, both physically and energetically. Feel it out. Remember, you can take your left hand or your top hand to your hip and then open the chest, open the shoulder. Wherever you are, start to come out. Back to warrior two as our transition. Press into the right foot, straighten the right leg. Drop the left hand, reach the right fingers up. Reverse triangle. And we'll just keep the legs straight, float the arms to warrior two position, reach the right fingers forward, rotate the arms, find your triangle. So right hand is down to the leg, a block, or the ground. Left fingers are reaching up. Nice deep stretch. Open the heart. You might even gaze up to the ceiling. Check how that shifts your balance. And then on the next inhale, we'll rise up. Exhale, hands float down. And turn the right toes same direction as the left. So we're going to start to bring things down to the mat. So we can heel toe the feet towards each other. Feet can come to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Bend the knees to connect palms to the mat. And then step one foot back at a time. So we're coming back to our tabletop position. Now from our tabletop position, maybe you come onto fingertips, or maybe you use blocks to support you. Maybe you don't need anything at all. But what we're doing is bringing one foot forward. So my left foot is coming forward. This is a knee down lunge. If you don't need the blocks, set them off to the side. And in this knee down lunge, with the left foot forward, let's take the right hand down. And as we inhale, lift the left fingers up. Twisted lunge. Now for a quad stretch, we can lift the right toes. Left hand might come back, connecting hand to foot. Opening that left shoulder, sinking a little deeper. This also feels amazing for the spine. If you made the connection of hand to foot, gently release. Left hand comes forward and we're going to switch it up. So the left foot comes back. Left knee in line with the right, and then the right foot comes forward. So we find our knee down lunge. Now with the right foot forward, left palm meets the mat. Right fingers sweep up. Twisted lunge, twisting to the right. From here, the left toes can lift, right hand can reach back, connecting hand to foot. Open the right shoulder. If you made the connection, let it go. Right hand comes back. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. This time we're going to transition by bringing the left foot forward. Send the toes off the edges of the mat. Bring the heels in. Come into your Malasana. So in our yogic squat, we've got our palms together, thumbs to the heart center. If the heels are lifted, you can position a rolled up blanket underneath. And we are going to find a little balance pose here, an arm balance pose. So to get into it, bring your hands down, lift your hips. Now, as you lift your hips, you really want to work your shoulders. Let me turn so you can see me. You really want to work your shoulders underneath your knees. And then press palms down. From here, lift your toes And then see if you can cross one ankle over the other, really gripping your fingertips into the mat. So my hands are a little wider than I want them to be. Feel it out. Maybe your hands are shoulder distance, maybe slightly wider. Holding your entire body up with your hands. And then let yourself come out. Woo! Down to our seat. Now we do want to give our wrists some love. So we'll bring the palms together. Thumbs are at the heart center. Open the palms so you see them. Bring the fingers towards you. Feel the back of the hands meet. Bring the thumbs together. Continue to roll the hands around. So the hands are connected at one point or another, but this changes with our movement. And then we'll switch it up, opposite direction. Another thing you can do here is as you bring the back of your hands together, you can lower your elbows, getting a nice stretch in the hand and wrist area. And then we'll separate the hands, shake them out. Let's do a little bit of core work. So let's come onto our backs. We're starting our cool down phase, so don't worry. Now, as you come onto your back, bend your knees, bring your heels towards your glutes. So extend your arms, see if your middle fingers can graze your heels. And then for our core work, we'll bring our palms to our thighs. So just notice where your palms reach. And then we lift the head, lift the shoulders to slide the palms to the kneecaps. And then slide the hands back down, connect the shoulders and the head. Now, continue to move in this way. Hands are continually sliding up and down. We're gonna do this several times. So you're starting to build heat and friction at the palms. Feels like you might be able to burn some holes into your yoga pants or whatever it is that you're wearing. Now, as you continue to move, stay with me. You might feel the engagement already in your abs. This is good. You're building strength. That's what we want to do today. Stick with it. Let's just take 3 more. You've got this. 2 more. 1 more. All right. Let the shoulders and the head relax down. Full round of breath. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, open the mouth. Set the breath free. Now we are going to stay reclined for the rest of our class. Got just a few more postures. But give yourself a moment to continue to find your breath. All right, coming into bridge or full wheel. If full wheel is part of your practice, go ahead and come into that. For bridge, as you inhale, lift your hips, press them up, and then roll the shoulders under the body. Let the hands meet, interlace the fingers, press your fists down into the mat. So this is the option that I want to take for my body today. I'm at a diagonal from my shoulders to my knees. Keep lifting the hips. Stay for another breath or 2 if you'd like, or roll the shoulders out. Lower the tailbone down. All right, so for those of you that don't know what wheel pose is and you're curious, or if wheel pose is something that you're working towards, I have another class called Feel the Love Yoga that's all about setting your body up for full wheel. So check that out if you'd like. From here, we're gonna move into Happy Baby. So let's lift the feet off the mat. Open the knees as wide as you can. Knees are bent. And then take your peace fingers, your index and middle fingers, to hook onto your big toes. Rotate the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. If your tailbone lifts and disconnects from the mat, then I want you to take your hands to your ankles instead. In our Happy Baby, we might rock from side to side, offering ourselves a nice little massage for our back. Another option that we can take in our Happy Baby is to straighten one leg as the opposite knee stays bent. Maybe we try that on the other side. And maybe we straighten both legs. You might even feel a nice stretch at the feet, at the ankles, if you think about bringing your big toes in. And then we'll bend the knees, bring them in towards the body. And just check out anything else you might want to do to round out your practice today. We can come back to spinal twisting with the knees at center as we inhale. Exhale, knees to the left. With each inhalation, the knees rise back to center. And then exhale, take the knees over to the right. So as we're moving, if you're taking this option of spinal twisting from side to side, you want to think about keeping the shoulders down, plugged into the ground. I like this reclined spinal twisting because for me it feels like a really great massage for the hips. So just taking 3 on each side. So earlier we did it by twisting our upper body. Now we're doing it with our lower body. And if you'd like, you can always come into Halasana or plow pose by lifting the feet up, taking the hands under the glutes, then pressing the feet up, bringing the legs overhead. The legs might hover or toes might tap the ground. Hands can support the low back. Or if you feel comfortable, arms can ground down. So just make sure that you're feeling this weight in the shoulders, not in the neck. If you're feeling it in the neck, just back out a little bit. And when you're ready to come out, slowly roll down, bone by bone. Take your time. All the way until your tailbone reconnects to the mat. Lower the feet down to the mat. Coming into relaxation. Knees can stay bent, or you can fully extend your legs. Shavasana, a wonderful time for integration of all the strengthening and balance work that we did. We also did some nice deep stretches to work on our flexibility. And we reminded ourselves of our breath and how important it is to bring awareness to your breath, to assist you in calming your nervous system and staying in your postures longer and more comfortably. So now we give ourselves permission to fully relax. As we come into our most comfortable posture, think about tucking your chin towards your chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Let the feet relax, create space between the feet. Let the arms relax, space at the armpits. Just coming back to our breath. Nurturing ourselves with this time of stillness. The eyes are closed. And all we do is just breathe and relax. Whatever thoughts are coming up, just practice sending them away just as easily as they arrive. Know that yoga is the practice of building heat. When we move through our physical practice, when we build the heat, we come back to this time of stillness. And by working through our postures and our movement, we also give ourselves an opportunity to find stillness of the mind once we get the wiggles out and we settle into this time of just being, knowing that it's so important to not only be doing all the time, but giving yourself time to just be, to just relax, to reflect, to just chill out and be here now. Now you're welcome to stay in this reclined position. Or maybe you feel like hugging the knees into the chest and rotating the big toes around, circling the ankles for mobility. You might roll to one side or sit up in your own way. Know that you don't have to come to a comfortable seat. You can stay reclined. You can stay in Shavasana for longer. This is totally up to you. Check in with yourself. Listen to your intuition. What do you need? As we close our practice together today, inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips reaching for the sky, gathering all the energy that you need to take in. Exhale, bring the thumbs towards the heart center. As the thumbs connect to the heart, take a deep inhale all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, release, let it go. And tuck your chin towards your chest. Take a moment here of gratitude for offering yourself this time of your practice, this time to build heat, to purify our bodies and our minds so that we can experience this bliss state of stillness, this time with ourselves. This is the essence of yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a deep, deep honor of mine to be able to guide you in this beautiful practice. Namaste. And if you're still here and hearing all the jingle jangle, my girl intuitively knows when the practice is finished, and then she comes in to give her kisses. This is Lilu, if you have not seen her yet. She loves yoga. And we love you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.